Hey everyone! Welcome back! I am back today with more Attack on Titan. You guys, if you're joining me early today, you know what it means. It means you are one of my awesome patrons. Thank you so much, and as always, you know I'm sending you those big old hugs right through that screen. And if not, still thank you for joining me today. I'm really glad you're here. I do hope you'll consider supporting me that way. The link to my Patreon is going to be in the description down below. So, I've had a lot of time to think over the events of last week's episodes of Attack on Titan. My heart still hurts a lot, and I'm still kind of in denial about it. But I think I am starting to come around and accept the fact that that truly might be the end of Armin. Also, incidentally, it does sound like Smith is, like, gone. He's, like, dead. Like, I wasn't sure because I saw him get hit, but I wasn't sure exactly how bad it was. Like, I knew he probably got thrown off the horse, and that possibly may have killed him, but it does sound like he's, like, dead, like, not coming back. I don't know if that's true or not. I just, like, from some of the discussion in the comments, it kind of sounds like that was it. Which he had a beautiful arc. As sad, as tragic as it is to see him go. The whole Armin thing just took me from out of nowhere. I guess now that I know, I can see where they definitely have, like, built up an arc for him over the course of the series, and in the last few episodes we were dealing with this whole thing about him, like, just freezing up and not being able to make a decision, which, I mean, considering how awesome he usually does, like, he is still a kid, and it has been, like, a few months since all of this BS happened, and, you know, considering all that, I mean, it's totally understandable that he would freeze up, but he kind of had his arc in these last few episodes where he, you know, just could not, he was, like, almost paralyzed with fear. And when he finally did come up with a plan, it was like an ultimate sacrifice kind of plan. And just, I can't get into, like, the whole thing with the ocean because I'll start up again. Thank God I remembered to restock the Sad Unicorn is fully restocked now, because that was a terrible mistake on my part to not restock it for last week. But he has restocked today. But yes, just his whole interaction with Erwin beforehand, where he was saying, you know, I'm not a hero, and I can see all the signs now, but at the time I can't believe they would actually do it, you know? I was holding out hope for a long time that, like, even though we saw his body and it was charred, that maybe there would, like, be some life left in him for them to give him the syringe of the Titan fluid. I don't know. I mean, they still could be going in that direction, but I think it's like started to sink in a little bit more with me now that, like, that's it. Like, that was the end of his story. And it's heartbreaking to me because he was my favorite character, I would say. Followed very closely by, like, Mikasa and Sasha. And all I mean, they've done a great job of fleshing out so many characters on this show. Don't get me wrong, but, like, I'd say he was my number one. He was my number one boy. My thing now is, like, just make it count. Like, what's done is done, if it's really done, and they can't bring him back. But, like, make it count for something. And it's funny that I should say that because we just got through that whole ordeal with Smith trying to make sense out of senseless death. And, you know, if anyone can do it, it's him. But there really is just, you know, this kind of overarching tone on the show that, like, a lot of bodies just pile up unfairly in order to even get a little bit ahead in this battle. Just the one that we've been fighting the whole series, and I feel like typically in fiction, you know, like you'll have the epic death, you'll have the really, you know, meaningful death. And I noticed like the last 2 deaths we've seen on this show have just been very quick and not without meaning, not without feeling by any means, but they really do a good job of like bringing you down to reality, and just instilling this feeling of like, in a war, a lot of people just die seemingly for nothing. I guess the only thing you can hold on to is just the fact that, like what Smith was saying, you know, maybe this will have some kind of significance or benefit for the people who are left behind. And that's like, at this point, like, I don't know if we can get Armin back at this point. If he's gone, all I would ask is like, please make it count for something. Please don't just be like, you know, at the end of the last episode, it seemed like we had kind of a victory. Like they got Bertholdt, they got like, if we go into the next one and they're just like, nope, not today, and they get away, and I'm just gonna be like, nah, no, not accepting that. Like, I at least make it a victory. You know what I mean? But I honestly don't know. I don't know where we could be going with it, because I've seen a lot of times on this show where like people die and you're like, oh, but we won the battle. It's like, nope, you didn't even get close to winning the battle. You lost a whole ton of people and you got zilch. So I'm very curious to see where it's all going. And I know I'm very quickly approaching the end of the season here, so I'm sure I have some stuff to still look forward to. So what do you say we go ahead and get started? Next episode, Attack on Titan. Let's go. Oh. Oh! Uh-oh. What? Hang on, what? How does he know his father? No, you don't get to do that. What does that mean? What? What does that even mean? Please be alive! Oh, please! Oh, God, if there's any chance at all he's alive. Oh, dang. You're kidding. この注射を打たれた者が巨人となる。エレンのように巨人化できる人間を食うこと。そうすることだ。一旦は巨人の力を操る人となるのだ。Are they gonna do what I think they're gonna do? リヴァイあちらの状況がわからない。それを確認する時間も余裕もないと思うね。なぜならこいつらの底力は我々には到底計り知れないからだ。Oh. 跳ねてもまだ安心できないよ。Hanji's ready to see this through. Oh my God, he is breathing. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Sounds good to me. Ah! Oh! Oh my God, that happened so fast. Oh, shoot! Sorry. No. Right. How can you blame him even if there was a part of him that wanted to save Reiner's life, you know? You can't blame him for that. No! I was right! He's gonna have to make a decision! Oh my god! No. Oh my god, how was I right? How was I right? Oh no, what are you gonna do? Oh, Levi, Smith would want you to use it on Armin. Don't you think? I think he would. Levi! Levi! I get it. I do. I want Smith to live too. But this is Armin we're talking about. Injection conditions. All right. Not only can Titan powers and much needed information be stolen by using the injection, but it also allows the revival of someone who is critically wounded, which we knew. The ideal candidate would be someone near death that is already close to an incapacitated enemy with Titan powers. Okay, so basically either of them is like the perfect candidate. Don't get me wrong. I get wanting to bring Smith back. It makes a lot of sense tactically. I have to think maybe there is some emotional reason for Levi as well, which you can't blame him. But I mean Armin. Also, how did I call this? I said this at the end of my last reaction, that this would happen. I hate when I'm right, you guys. Let's get back to it. What's Mikasa gonna... Oh, Mikasa! My girl's in kill mode! Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god! Yeah, I would back off if I were you, bro. He's done a whole lot. Like, he couldn't become a tactical genius, too. I don't want either one of them to die. But I gotta say, I think I'm on Team Armin right now. Oh. Oh. Oh, dang. Wow. Oh. Oh, my lord. Right? Yeah, okay. But he's... Oh, dang. It's an awful decision.
しても終戦の果てまで続く巨大な湖だった。アルミンが、おい、もうやめろよ。この壁の向こうにある。
He was supposed to see it. It's not fair.
そのガキの頃の夢、俺はとっくに忘れてて、憎むことしか頭になく。でも、こいつは違うんです。アルミンは戦うだけじゃない。
We might need Smith to win the war, but we need Armin to rebuild the world. Of the two of them, I feel like they have a better chance at saving Smith with regular means. Maybe I'm wrong. Why did it have to end up like this? Oh!
いつもこいつもガキみてえにわめき散らしやがって。みんな何かに酔っ払ってねえとやってられなかったんだな。みんな何かのどエルフ
Oh my god, I know that haircut anywhere! I would know that haircut anywhere! Oh, Bertholdt. I'm sorry, Bertholdt. I'm sorry, not sorry. I mean, I've have mixed feelings on this, because I wish it could have been different. Oh. Bertholdt. He really had such an arc as well. Oh, my sweet boy. It feels like a rebirth of everything, doesn't it? It feels like there's hope. Oh, you guys. Can you believe I was almost like dreading this one? I was almost like scared and sad to have to watch it, because I had pretty much come to terms with the fact that Armin was gone, that Smith was gone. And I said, you guys, I just want to go on the record. So it's so seldom that I'm actually right about something. I just want to go on the record. Is having said at the end of the last episode, wouldn't it be crazy and juicy and dramatic if Levi was presented with this choice? I hate it when I'm right. I really do, because that was a horrible choice. And at the end, I really was like, okay, this is it. He's going to give it to Smith. And they're going to deal with Smith having to bear the weight of another life. You know, like, I really thought that was the direction they were going to take it. But, you know, there was something about it to me that was so beautiful, and couldn't have been a coincidence that Smith said, you know, he was flashing back to when he was in class and asked the teacher, you know, do you think there's humans outside the walls? And it just aligned so perfectly with Armin's dream of going outside the walls and seeing everything there was to be out there. I was trying to say this during the episode, but I really feel like while they were 100% right about Smith being, you know, a tactical genius and someone who could, you know, lead them through this war and guide them through it. You know, all of that is true. Like, I totally get, like, no one was wrong here. That's what was so tough about it. Even though I was, like, really rooting for Armin because Armin is my heart, no one was wrong. They weren't wrong. The people who wanted Smith, I mean, they were absolutely right. But here's the thing. First of all, I really believe that Armin can and will grow into a tactical genius like that himself. Like, he already has the makings for it. He is the future of this world, you know? And yeah, like, my second point about that being, it takes more than just being able to win the war. You need to be able to lead the world. You need to be able to rebuild the world afterwards. And I think that Armin is the one for that. I think that they're right. What Levi said about Smith was right. He became this devil because he had to. And, you know, he needs to have his rest now. He finally came to terms with everything, and he deserves to have his rest. And also, I don't know if that's necessarily what we're going to need after this is all said and done. That sounds like horrible and cold. Like, we won't need people like him after this is done. I hope it doesn't come off that way, but you know what I mean? Like, we're going to need something more than that when this is all said and done. So, okay. Well, scratch everything I said at the beginning about having to come to terms with Armin dying and everything. I'll tell you what, though, they really had me going. Because I really, even up to that last second when I saw him with his little sweetie pie haircut, I really thought, you know, I'm not getting him back. I'm not, like, I just had to come to terms that I'm not getting him back. And I got him back. But you know what, though? Let's not diminish the sacrifices and the greatness of Smith by any means. Because he had possibly, like, the hardest job of all in all of this, you know? And Hanji made a great point, too, when she was like, we've all lost people. Like, the bodies have been piling up since we signed on, you know? Like, we get it. We've all lost people. We all want people. Like, we all have people we would bring back if we could. But at some point, you just have to deal with the loss. And it's like, imagine that feeling, but instead of losing, like, you know, your group of friends, your fellow scout mates and everything, like, imagine having that feeling about people you had led into their deaths again and again and again and again as a commander. That, like, it's very possible he may have made, like, some of the greatest sacrifices on this series. Also, before I forget, because I know this is going to get totally overshadowed by just my complete raw emotions after this episode. Yeah, just what in the heck did the Beast Titan mean about knowing Aaron's dad? We know that Aaron's dad came from, like, outside the walls, right? So it's probably someone he knew during that time when he lost all the memory of it. Okay, he knows the dad. He says they were both his victims. They were brainwashed by him. He wants to come, like, free Aaron. I'm like, hold up a second. You don't get to play, like, baseball with people's lives and then come and be like, oh my God, I want to save you. No. I know, like, he obviously doesn't feel that way about all of humanity. It's just Aaron, but I'm sorry, like, no. You don't get to do that. Actually, you guys know all his stories, so maybe you feel otherwise. Maybe he's like this amazing tragic character, but I'm just like, nuh-uh. I had enough of your furry butt, and bye-bye. So Reiner's still alive. Who could blame John for having a problem with watching Reiner get tortured? Like, John, do not feel bad for a second. That doesn't make you a bad person at all. It doesn't, although now they did get away with Reiner, which really sucks. But, I mean, and it feels weird even saying this because, like, I don't hate either of them, but, like, Bertholdt is no longer. So, I mean, 1 out of 2. 1 out of 3, actually, because Beast Titan. And also, if you count the little, this guy, I don't know if he has a name, the Titan, the one that's on all fours, then yeah, we definitely let quite a few get away. But all right, guys. I mean, I'm like, I'm happy. I'm so relieved. Yet at the same time, like, they do a good job of, like, we're gonna let you have this, but we're also gonna drag you through the mud. Like, you're also gonna have to choose. Like, you're gonna watch Smith die. You're gonna watch his friends and the people whose lives have been forever changed by him, like Levi and everything. Like, you're gonna watch them sitting around him as he breathes his last. So, I mean, as with everything, it came at a big cost. But, alright, guys. Wow. Just wow. I'm going to go dry my eyes, have a snack, and jump into the next one. So, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I can actually say that this time because there was actually really something to be happy about in this one, although, like I said, lots stuff to be sad about as well. But I hope you had a good time with it. I definitely did. I can't wait to see what happens next. Please be sure to join me next time, and we will watch it together. Bye for now, guys.